Good morning, people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody had a wonderful night's rest. And if you are somewhere where it's still early in the morning, then welcome, man. Welcome. I know it's still like 1:15 like in New York, so Eastern time is quite early, but let's just look at pre-London analysis. So I figured I'll jump on this as a tester for next week. So what you guys can see going into pre-London, in an hour's time or 45 minutes time, we'll have Euro news. And we will have pound news at about 9:30, which is very, very important to just note down so that you don't take any trades in and around that time. Okay, but it is yellow flag, so it's not that important, but it's just important to note down. Let's go into the charts, guys. So yesterday we had on the news front, we had so yesterday we had interest rates, right? And the interest rates came out the same, but what it seems is that it had a kind of the report had good things, or the whoever spoke had good things to say about the report, right? So that's important to note. The report was good. So then with that information, you come into the chart. Now you're saying pound has been gaining strength throughout the week based on like not just fundamentals but based on technicals. We have been gaining strength throughout the week, and this is shown on GBP USD, right? And it's shown on multiple GBP pairs. So I'm coming into the session with that in mind, that pound is strong. So I'm expecting some type of push to the upside or something to happen. But now when I come to GBP USD, what I can see is on the 4H is that immediately we are in a range, and you don't really want to be trading a range, right? This is what I can see, that we are in a range, and this is complete, like I feel like it's trash to be trading something like this. So the only time I'll be trading is if we break above here, or if we break below here. That's the only time I'll be trading. Now you can say, Marcelino, this is a 4H range and you can go down into intraday time frames to trade it. Yes, by all means you can do that. You can go down to intraday time frames to trade it. But what I can see is that, or from this key level, right, what you can see is that price went into the key level. Price then started to form a bearish candle, and from that bearish candle we started to make lower lows and lower highs. Now this is a very weak bullish candle, and in the same breath we formed a lower low and lower high on this 4H candle. Now based off from this 4H candle, I can't really say where price is going to go, but what I can say is that price has formed this support here, and if we do break this support, we can continue down into, let's say, these areas. But as I mentioned, I'm not going to be trading this bit just because I think this is happening because there's GBP strength and there's dollar strength at the moment, and therefore this specific bit, which is GBP USD, is ranging. Okay, that's what I can gather from this. We are ranging right now. Okay, so now let's go on to GBP JPY and let's see exactly what is happening here. So what you can see is that GBP JPY actually broke structure to the upside. So overall, what you can see is that price is now bullish, right? Price is bullish. However, what I can note is that, as I mentioned before, the market moves in impulses and corrections, or push and exhaustion. It doesn't really matter how you define it, but what I can see is that price is currently right now in an exhaustion phase, or price is currently right now in some type of correction. Okay, you can see that price kind of formed a resistance right here, and what I can see is that price had this blue candle, although it's a weak bullish candle. Price had made a lower low and a lower high to the previous candle, which is very important. So my opinion on this pair, which could be tradable today, is right now we are currently ranging for this 4 hour candles, which for 12 hours we are ranging, right? If we do break below this area, I will look for sells into possibly these areas here, and I will refine that now on the 1 hour. If we break above, then what you can look for is buys into these areas here. You can look for buys into those areas, and then if you break that, you can look for buys into these areas thereafter, right? So that's the lowdown for from the 4H, what you can expect. Now let's go down to the 1 hour to then see where we can get our targets for this pair. What you can see right here is a potential target. Let me do this. Place that right there. So if we get a break below this area, we can potentially target this, and you can see it is quite clean to the left hand side. There's no real, yes, there is like wicks, but I think to me this seems quite clean to be trading, and it is about a 24 pip movement or range that we can catch. So yeah, and correlating this with the 1H time frame, you can see that we have a key level at the top, which is coming from the 4H. You can see that we had rejected this. We went back in multiple wick rejections. Now you can see that price has taken out this low with this 1H candle, giving us a strong 1H close. What I can expect is when I get a close below this area, so I'm gonna make it a zone instead of just a line. When I get a close below this area right here, let me take this off. When I get a close below this area, I can then start to look for sells. And what area is that? About 820. When I get a close below 820, I can start looking for sells, and when I get a close above these areas, I can look for buys into this area. Now I don't think this is a good range. It's like a 10. That's a very small range. So yeah guys, that's my plan going into London. I think one of these pairs, usually what happens is that one of these pairs lead the way, and that's important to note guys in London, because it's only pound that's moving these pairs, it's only GBP that's moving these pairs, so one of them usually lead the way. So you'll see that either pound will lead the way in moving down, or GBP USD will lead the way in moving whichever way it's going to move, and that's what we're going to be looking at. So from this analysis, what I can say is I'm favoring the downside right now. I'm really favoring the downside, and I will explain to you. I'll add more confluence: higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Fail to make a new high right here, fail to make a new high right there. And now what do you expect after price fails to make a new high? You kind of expect price to go down, and this right here, this bearish candle, is signs of price now attempting to go lower. So if we break this, then you can see price come into these areas. Overall, we're still bullish guys. Overall, we're still bullish. However, intraday wise, we can start to look for price action to come down if we do break this area. It's very important that we do break this area to confirm that we are bearish. Okay, and then if we break above here, so right now I don't have a proper bias, but I am favoring the downside. So I'm more likely than not only going to be looking for sells on this pair today. However, bear in mind that all from yesterday's news and all from yesterday's speech that we had, that pound is strong. Now let's take a look at, this is what I do just to correlate things. Sometimes I'll just run through. That's why you'll see I have all of these different pairs here. I'll run through all of the other JPY pairs, right? And I'll just compare them. So from a 4H perspective, let's see. So right here you can see 4H perspective is kind of doing the same thing, right? Kind of doing the same thing, and most of them have bearish candles. So based off from the theory that says that if this candle is bearish, the next candle is more likely than not going to be bearish, I can gather that JPY is strong too, or from all of these JPY correlated pairs. That's what I can gather for, at least for this 4H close. So if that is the theory and if that is what we're going off, then perfectly fine. We can go off from that and we can see that the next 4H candle, and remember, all we need is to trade in the next 4-hour candle. And if that can happen, then you are good. If you can anticipate where the next 4-hour candle is going to, then you'll be able to catch a really good trade. And that's all that you really need as a day trader. We're going to be trading London session, so you only need the next 4-hour candle really to be trading London session or London open. And then if you look at pound, you can see the pound strength that I was talking about. You can see across, like, and I'm basically looking at these last couple of candles just to gauge whether or not the next candle is more likely going to do something. Okay, that's all we're really doing. So yeah guys, that's my analysis from or for this morning. I'm probably going to be focusing on GBP JPY more likely than not, looking for these sells into 152 600, 152 550. That's what we're doing. Have a wonderful London session, guys. I hope that this has helped somebody. I hope that it has helped in some manner. Have a wonderful London session. Have a wonderful New York session, and have a brilliant day today. Enjoy the weekend too. From your boy Marcelino. Wonderful session. Peace out.